morning, everyone, and welcome to our second edition of Living Proof here at the Arthur Companies. My name is Cole Ehrlin. I'm an agronomist up at our Pillsbury location. So right now we're standing in a cornfield here about 4 miles south of Pillsbury. This field was planted about 2 weeks ago, and as you can see, we're looking at about 2-leaf corn here. We spread this field for about 170 bushel corn yield with our dry fertilizer spreader, and in that blend we are testing a new product from Ehrlin called Hydrahume, and in that product is humic acid, and we are hoping to get better fertilizer use efficiency with the use of this product. Here at the Arthur Companies, we like to test these products before we take them to our growers, so we're going to see what we can get out of Hydrahume on this quarter. So one thing I notice as I walk into this cornfield is we've got a little bit of a crust on top, and some of you may have noticed crusting in your corn or soybean fields here. Crusting can be a little bit of an issue, especially in corn. Our corn plants are spaced far enough apart so that if there is a crust occurring, sometimes they can have a hard time pushing through that crust by themselves. Some information about crusting. What causes a crust is it often occurs in heavily tilled fields. So with that tillage pass, you're burying some of the residue and tearing some of that residue up. Without that residue on the ground, we have no protection from heavy pounding rains. So we get a heavy rain like that, and it's just able to beat on the top of our soil with no protection, which actually breaks down some of the soil aggregates into very small particles. Now when these particles dry, it actually forms a very hard concrete-like crust on the top, and corn can have a very tough time emerging. So probably the most popular method of taking care of a crust issue is a rotary hoe. The best time to use a rotary hoe is when the field is actually a little on the damp side, so actually when field moisture is at field capacity. You can pull a rotary hoe about 8 to 10 miles an hour. In emerged corn, this is a tough thing to do because you feel like you're doing a lot of damage, but you should always expect to have about 1 to 2% stand loss from using a rotary hoe. That may sound like a lot, but in comparison to what we're losing from a stiff crust like this, we're actually doing more good than bad in that situation. If you notice that you're losing stand up to 3 or 4%, we can slow down a little bit. But if it's getting any worse than that, we may be best to just let the stand take care of itself. Another hot topic this spring was corn planting date. Obviously, we got pushed back planting later than a lot of us would have expected. So corn went into the ground a little later than any of us really wanted to put it in the ground. So what I did was I took a look on Endon at our Pillsbury Endon station. So I compared planting dates from this year to last year. I took a period of May 14th from this year to June 4th of this year and compared it to that same time frame from last year. This year, we've accumulated 172 growing degree days. That is 150 growing degree days behind last year in that same time frame, and we are actually 82 degree days off of the 5-year average. So we definitely are a little behind from normal in growing degree days. One thing I think we can take from this is we're really worried about putting some of that late corn in, but if you think about the corn that was planted 2 weeks ago and the degree days that we've accumulated in that time, the corn that was planted here in the last week probably isn't terribly far behind some of the stuff that we planted early. So I think we'll see what happens there, and I don't think we need to be too concerned on that front. So the main thing to remember here when we're talking about late planting date and whatnot is the weather here in the next 3 months is really going to dictate how this crop turns out. We could get a lot of heat here and still have a very respectable corn yield this summer. One other application we plan to do in this field is we're going to come in around tassel, and we're going to spray some fungicide passes going across the rows with an airplane, and we're going to try out a Syngenta product called Trivapro. This is a product that we have tested in company here in the last year or two, and we're going to see what we can get out of that this year as well. So thanks everyone for watching this week's Living Proof video. Make sure to keep tuning in and watching for our next episode of Living Proof. Now I'm going to turn it over to Hank, our marketing guy, to talk about some grain markets.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Hank Brown. I'm the location manager and grain merchandiser at our Pillsbury location. This spring has been a very compact and busy season. During this busy time of year, everyone wears a lot of hats, and I want to make sure to get a few bullet points out here on the grain markets. We've had a lot of success recently in a climbing market with working orders. We've had a lot of customer working orders fill during the overnight market sessions. This provides tremendous opportunity to get lock-in prices at profitable levels. This spring in 2019 has been historically wet and late. The Eastern Corn Belt is seeing more effects of this than we are in the Western Corn Belt. Because of this, we've seen the grain markets rise. Through May, 67% of the corn crop has been planted, 39% of the soybean crop, and 83% of the spring wheat crop. As the market digests these numbers and the weather moving forward, it will dictate where the market goes from here. We encourage all of you to contact one of the grain merchandisers to take advantage while the markets are at profitable levels. There's many different contracting options that we offer. We're continuing to roll out more to our customers to help improve the bottom line. To put in any working orders for the grain market, please contact Kevin Carl, Aaron Remick, or myself in the Eastern Division, or out in Harvey and Animus, please contact Joel Schemke, Jenna Knudsen, or Jeff Lemare.